This week, I wanted to share a new skill that I am learning, spinning. So I have dabbled in spinning before. Last year, I bought a drop spindle and then later a spinning wheel. But after my visit to the Fairfield Finns farm on the Yarny road trip, my friend and I signed up for a spinning course. So thus far, I've only had the one class, but I love spinning already. I sort of knew that before as well, but this is just solidifying that even more. It's a craft that forces you to slow down and gets you into this great meditative state. I want to take you on this journey with me where you can learn some of the key findings as well as see the progression of learning to spin. Before this class, I learned to spin from roving, which looks like this. All of the fibers are already neatly organized and you pull what you need and pre-draft it before spinning. I want to show you what it is we're taught in this spinning class where we're spinning with greasy wool. We were given a portion of fleece, and the first step is to pull out some staples. So the term staple length refers to the length of your fiber. A longer staple will often lead to a stronger yarn and generally a higher quality yarn. So with fleece, there's the newly fresh cut end, and that would be equivalent to the roots of our hair, and the dirty old wool end, which is similar to the ends of your hair. You find the dirty end in the fleece and you grab a section, place your other hand around the rest of the fleece and pull out your staple. This gets placed to the side and you keep repeating this until you've gone through the whole fleece. You make sure all the dirty ends are to one side and the clean ends to the other, just to make sure it's all clean and neat and tidy. Next up, we'll take about a thumb's width of a staple and flick. Now, when I looked up this tool, I saw it called a flick carder as well, but this is the tool that we're using. It's a brush with little bent pin style bristles. And we also have a little bit of leather or a faux leather sheet that we'll lay our staple on, grabbing the clean end. Then, like a hammer, you're gonna hold the flicker towards the end and do a flicking motion on the dirty end of your staple. You flip it as you go, and you can see that the dirty end is getting cleaner and starting to bloom, creating a lock of wool that's ready to be spun. The big wheel here is the one that I got from a secondhand shop. It is a double drive Saxony wheel. It was split and broken in some places, but my dad and I took it into his workshop and I proceeded to look up as much as I could on how spinning wheels work. A lot of stuff holding it together is kind of makeshift, but I learned a lot about each of the parts of a spinning wheel and the different types of wheels having to fix this one. However, as part of the course, I have the option to use and bring home one of the guild's wheels. This is a Louette Victoria S95 travel wheel. It weighs only 3 kilos, which is less than my cat weighs, and it has a little backpack, which makes it super easy for me to take it on the tram to and from lessons. Unlike my spinning wheel, this one has 2 pedals, which I find makes it a little bit easier to start and stop. I'm going to show you what I know so far on the modern wheel, but I'll also add in some footage of me spinning on my vintage wheel as well, just so you can see the differences. To power the wheel, you treadle. You start the motion by pushing down, and then you're not continuing to slam your foot into the machine, but more continuing to guide it into a smooth rhythm. You need to spin the same direction each time. For me, this is currently clockwise. Once the treadling motion becomes second nature, you can start to add in the fiber. So the next key parts of our machine are the bobbin, the flyer, and this little tension cord. When starting from scratch, you would put what's called a leader onto your bobbin. This is a length of scrap yarn that will allow you to easily start spinning onto the bobbin. You want to secure it on so that it doesn't shift around the bobbin. So you fold about a meter-ish length of yarn in half, loop it around the bobbin and tighten it to the far end. Then take those 2 strands and come around the opposite direction, creating another loop, and thread the end through. Then you just need to tighten again to the far end so you can see it. Thread the leader along your flyer and out the end. You want to make sure that, in this case, a loop is down near the end as well, or if you have hooks on your machine, make sure it's on the hook near your leader knot. Then we can start treadling and test the tension on our bobbin to make sure it's taking up the yarn at a pace we can work with. You adjust the knob until when you're spinning, you can feel the leader being pulled onto the bobbin. The great part about having a bit of length on your leader is being able to test your spinning like this. My double drive wheel doesn't actually have this tension bar. It relies on the whorls being 2 different sizes to create different rates of spin between the flyer and the bobbin. It took me a lot longer to work this out, and I still could be missing parts of the machine, but it currently works using that methodology, which is something that you can see in vintage wheels as well. Once your leader is on and it's comfortably spinning, you can add fiber. Taking one of the locks, you place the non-brushed end between your pinky and ring finger, and I like to pull just a tiny bit of the outermost edge out. You hold your leader in your other hand and get some twist going. Fair warning, this is the bit that I am currently most clunky with, but it's also one of those things we'll hopefully get to see improve. We're going to catch the fibers in the twist and slowly join it over a nice little distance, giving a little bit more each time. We're controlling how much twist goes into the fibers by pinching our fingers together. I'm using my right hand for this, but you can go whatever way is comfortable. You're then going to draft the fiber in to create your yarn by pulling out a section from your lock and sliding your fingers down, allowing the twist to go into your fiber. When you get to the end of a lock, you join a new lock in the same way you did the leader. By doing this, you're creating what's called a single. You can then ply singles together to get a balanced yarn, or if you're more experienced than I am, you can spin balanced singles. Balanced means it's not going to twist back on itself. Here are my first attempts at spinning, one with the drop spindle and one with my wheel. You can see in parts it sort of wants to curl back and kink on itself. And this is because they have so much extra twist in them. You can learn to spin so that it ends up looking relatively straight and balanced, but still strong enough to be worked. That is where I'm up to with spinning so far. I have to prep 2 bobbins to be plied next week, but I wanted to document the beginning to see the growth and the journey and maybe encourage you to try spinning. In other news, I am going to be playing around with my content a little bit. There might be a bit of a shift in upload schedule, or there might not be. I've just got to try and find a good balance across my life. If you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to check out my other videos. And if you really like this video or you want to join in on this spinning adventure, you can feel free to subscribe. I hope you have a lovely week. Bye.